Hi, I'm Nathan, and this is a psalm I wrote 10 years ago. One of my favorite theologians, John Piper, said, "The death and resurrection of Jesus Christ are precious to me, not because they turn my life into a string of successes, but because they keep me from collapsing under my string of failures." So this is my psalm in response to Romans 3:21 through 26. O God, I am a sinner, bruised and broken by my own folly and my own hand. I have incurred much guilt and much pain by my open and unabashed rebellion against you. I confess that I have despised your grace, thrown mud on your mercy, and trampled on the forgiveness that you give so freely. 1,000 times I have failed you. I confess that I have wanted my own desires and held my own wickedness as more precious than your gift of grace, and at times I haven't wanted anything to do with you. When your word says that you were despised and rejected among men, I see myself in that crowd, hurling the most insidious and horrid slurs your way, and I haven't given it a second thought. Were I to bear the weight of my sin, I would be crushed in an instant. My offense against you is too much for me to comprehend. Oh, that I would have an advocate who stands in my stead and labors for me on my behalf. But there's no reason, no point of contention, no argument to be made for my benefit. I am only guilty all the time. There is not a breath that I have taken on my own that would be considered good. And yet you give grace. In spite of me, in spite of what I've done and who I've been, you give mercy and show yourself as the forgiver. You give peace with mercy. You quiet my soul and clean me inside and out completely. I'm made whole and precious in your sight, not because of my inherent worth, but because of the worth that you've bestowed to me. You've given me yourself, an infinite gift of worth and glory. You've made my broken bones rejoice, and you've healed my dark and twisted mind. You've cut out my stone-cold heart and given me a new one that beats for you and you alone. But what of your justice? There's no justice here. Your free and unmitigated compassion has driven me to despair, for if you forgive and demonstrate not your justice, you have established your charity on a house of cards that surely won't hold up. You cannot forgive without atonement and remain just and holy. But thanks be to you, O God, for you have sent your own Son, your own self, my Jesus, my Christ, to bear that penalty, and you crushed him for my benefit. You let him take on my iniquity and my sin. You took his sacrifice and holiness and obedience and exchanged them for my wickedness, rebellion, and impurity. You put my sin on his perfect shoulders that had the skin beaten off of them. You placed the weight of my rebellion on his able back that was stripped of its flesh. You took my blasphemies and paid for them with every blow to his mouth. You redeemed my thoughts with the crown of thorns on his head. With every step I took toward sin, you redeemed them by piercing his feet. My hands that have found much wickedness to pursue, you have cleansed and redeemed by nailing his to the cross. So it's in the cross that I boast and not myself. It's in the crucified and risen Christ that I now live. Praise you, O God, my rock, my fortress, my healer, my redeemer, my provider, my justice, my joy, my king, my Lord, my Father. Praise you. Forgive me. Let me live for you. Give me grace for today, for you are most wonderful. Amen. Thank you for listening. I'd love to hear your story. What's your psalm?